Proverbs right now, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so my son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger, if you are snared in the words of your mouth, caught in the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself, for you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go hasten and plead urgently with your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Interesting. What's he talking about right there? You know, if you put up security for your neighbor, right? And he's talking about borrowing here. Obviously, that's what you know. If you've lent, you put up security. You've lent to somebody, and you know you have to be very, very careful. If you are snared in the words of your mouth, caught in the words of your mouth, and do this and save yourself, right? You know, you make a pledge that you really can't make. You know, be very careful. And he's talking kind of about finances here. Just, you really got to watch your finances. If you can help somebody, help them. But, you know, don't promise something that you cannot deliver on. Be very careful with that. You can get yourself into deep trouble, right? And then he talks about just a work ethic. You go down to verse 6. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise without having any chief officer or ruler. She prepares her bread in the summer, gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding in the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man. I mean, a lot of people talk about, you know, the ant and look what the ant does, and you know, it's kind of interesting. He's given the illustration from the insect kingdom there, and he's saying, hey, work. Don't be lazy. Don't be just living off of somebody else. And you even see this in the New Testament, where the Apostle Paul comes along and he says, look, you know, there are people that become busybodies, but they need to be working. They need to be providing food for themselves, for their family. You know, don't encourage these people that are just you know, that are able to work and that are just kind of not doing that, but instead being lazy, living off of others. Now, I'm not saying that it's saying don't help people out, but what he's saying, he's talking directly to the person. Hey, laziness, right? Don't be lazy. Don't be just leaning and relying on other people, and this is it's important. You know, you think, well, that's kind of obvious, but not to everybody. It's not. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes about with crooked speech, winks his eyes, signals with his feet, points with his finger, with perverted heart devises evil, continually sowing discord. So, yeah, here's a person with an agenda, right? Here's a person who, he's got a plan. Hey, look, you know, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna get this money in a wrong way. We're gonna, you know, it's not people that are necessarily burglars and stuff like that, but it's just, be careful. You know, there are people out there with a lot of these schemes and agendas, and convince you to come along with them. And he's saying, be very, very careful with the company you keep, of course. Therefore, calamity will come upon him suddenly. In a moment, he will be broken beyond healing. So, you know, just, you know, stay away from people who scheme, right? And there are 6 things that the Lord hates, down verse 16. So you can see this particular chapter, there's just a lot of kind of a hodgepodge of a lot of advice. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue. What is haughty? Haughty is this looking down your nose at somebody. That's a haughty look, to look down your nose at somebody, right? That's haughtiness. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies. Wow. You know, I'm just thinking about all these false witnesses that come out, you know, when we're trying to confirm Supreme Court justices, or the Senate has a hearing, or and we've got false people are so willing to give a false witness. It's just amazing to me. But the Bible talks about that false witness who breathes out lies, one who sows discord among his brothers. Man, don't sow division among people. There are people like that. They love to just sow division, man. Be very careful of people like that, right? So just a lot of warnings here, and it says what God hates this, right? God hates this. Then let's go down to verse 20. And again, goes back into adultery. My son, keep your father's commandments, forsake not your mother's teachings, bind them on your heart always, tie them around your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you wake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching a light. The reproofs of discipline are the ways of life, to preserve you from the evil woman, from the smooth tongue of the adulteress. Do not desire her beauty in your heart. Do not let her capture you with her eyelashes. For the price of a prostitute is only a loaf of bread, but a married woman hunts down a precious life. Now, he's not saying, hey, a prostitute's not that bad. It's like, no, prostitution, that's still bad. He said, but, but especially with adultery, again, you bring that person's wife, husband into it. Can a man carry fire in his chest, his clothes not be burned, or can one walk on hot coals, his feet not be scorched? So is he who goes into his neighbor's wife. None who touches her will go unpunished. People, do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his appetite when he's hungry, but if he's caught, he will pay sevenfold. He will give all the good deeds of his house. He who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself. He will get wounds and dishonor, but his disgrace will not be wiped away. For jealousy makes a man furious, and he will not spare when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation. He will refuse though you multiply gifts. And again, it just kind of goes on, and then we're going to go in chapter 7. So you can kind of tell he's saying, hey, stay away from adultery. And even today, so many people, they don't get it. They don't see this coming. You always hear in the news, there was a couple that got involved, and then there's an affair and somebody got stabbed, or just horrible things, and so stay away, right? Just stay away from that. So and of course in this passage he's talking about, because you have somebody else involved and they're going to take vengeance. But anyway, so we're going to get into chapter 7 next time, and again, he kind of goes into adultery again, but then we're going to go out of that. Proverbs also has a lot of stuff on finances. It has a lot of things to say in different areas. So just be patient. I know it seems like it can be a little bit redundant at times, but there's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of good guidance, a lot of advice in here that if people would listen to, they would do a whole lot better. If you find this video helpful, go ahead and click subscribe there. And again, we're going to be on Rumble pretty soon, so go ahead and go over to our Rumble channel and subscribe there as well. God bless and have a great day.